Okay, so I have a confession that very much goes against the grain of the title of this video, and that is I am the least talented person when it comes to home organization. Spoons in the sink, jackets over chairs, boxes just patiently waiting for their turn to be recycled. I make the Grinch look like Marie Kondo. However, you all seem to enjoy my last video where I exposed what a clutter maniac I am, and also all of the tips that I shared on how to defeat that clutter mania. So I thought I would make a sequel to that video, this time focused on home organization tips for people who are not good at home organization. Now sadly, one elephant in the room is that I'm not filming in my usual place, my own home, and the reason for that is because I've had an absolute disaster with my house this past few weeks. I'm not currently living there, and that's why I'm filming around here at the tiny house. So I will make a video explaining what has gone on around there, but for now I'm in here just filming this. I should say this place is much more organized than my usual house, so I decided to bring around some cereal and some spoons that I could just kind of throw over the counter to set the disorganized mood. Perfect. Okay, so I think to start it's important to say that disorganization is a different kind of mess from clutter. In fact, kind of being, an Albert Einstein of mess, I would say there are 3 different types of mess. You have cluttered, disorganized, and just unclean. Cluttered means that you have too many possessions and that you really need to throw some stuff out. Disorganized means that your possessions don't have a home within your home and are therefore just kind of being thrown wherever it takes your fancy. And unclean means that you have to break out the rubber gloves and the Mr. Sheen. Because these problems all have to be tackled in different ways, it's helpful to understand what your issue actually is, because organization might not be the best first step for you. I'd say the first problem you should always take care of is clutter. So whenever I start an organization process, the first thing I do is take a long hard look at myself and ask if any of my stuff can be thrown out, donated, or sold, because organizing clutter is just a bit of a pointless endeavor. It's kind of just polishing a turd. So one of the most useful organizational tips that I've come across came from a book called How to Keep House While Drowning. And in this book, it suggests creating systems around your existing habits rather than trying to force yourself to pick up new habits to fix your disorganization. A lot of the organization advice that I've seen out there is kind of based on the assumption that if the organization method is good enough, it'll override your predisposition to be messy and disorganized. If the system is good enough, you'll no longer forget things. You'll be a person who just suddenly enjoys tidying. You'll have a firm grasp on all of your spoons. But I just don't think that's very realistic. Certainly not for me anyway. So instead of asking what should I do and just pretending that I'm going to somehow be able to stick to all of these organizational one-size-fits-all methods, instead, I ask myself, what do I actually do? I ask myself things like, where do I drop things when I come in the door? What do I avoid putting away? What do I find difficult rather than simple? Looking at things from this angle, organization can become something much more simple, which aligns with the way that I actually live my life. It stops being aspirational and starts being more realistic because you're actually dealing with how you live in your space. And that brings us on to the first practical tip here, which is using drop zones. In pretty much every video or article that I've read or watched about home organization, the mention of drop zones has come up, and for good reason. So despite sounding like somewhere that a Marine would land before just battering a warlord, a drop zone is just a place for you to shed your daily essentials when you come in the door. That could be your keys, your wallet, your lip balm, your knuckle dusters. Without dedicated places to drop these essential items, they just gather, they create mess, and in a lot of cases, you'll end up losing them. Because of this, it's a good idea to create more organized drop zones in the places that you actually drop things. So rather than just throwing your coat on your bed or over the back of a chair, get a coat hook for your front door. Instead of just throwing your keys and wallet on the counter or on a table, get a dedicated bowl or tray in that place so that it's more organized chaos. The good thing about drop zones is that you can use them in pretty much any area of your life which is disorganized. If you have cables all over your desk, get some kind of cable collecting box. If you notice that dirty clothes tend to gather in a certain area of a certain room, put a washing basket there. If you've noticed that rubbish tends to collect in a certain area, put a bin there. It might sound simple, but people don't do it, and it's basically all about collecting mess where you actually leave it, working with the habits that you already have. Now, if you've been watching my videos over this past year, you'll have noticed my dad helping out on a few different projects that I've taken on. He has a tendency to push himself with these ventures, and I have a tendency to spook him sometimes. Unsurprisingly, this combination of heavy lifting and heavy spooking has led to him dealing with some tension and some back pain. So for Christmas, I decided to, number one, stop spooking him, and number two, hook him up with the Novo Omni, which is the world's first dynamic ergonomic chair. So you might be wondering what makes the Omni so special compared to traditional ergonomic chairs. So with traditional chairs, you set them up so that they fit your seating position, and then you're just expected to stay sitting in that position. If you move or slouch, which we all do, the support is lost and your body pays the price. This is where Omni beats the competition. With Omni, you just set up the chair once and the bionic FlexFit backrest does the rest of the work for you. With just a press of a button on the inside of the armrest, the built-in electric motor automatically adjusts the backrest panels to perfectly match changes in your posture. This provides dynamic support every time you stretch or shift, lending to Novo's tagline, "Move with comfort, stay supported." Speaking of shifting, the Omni also has multiple recline angles: 105 degrees, 120 degrees, 135 degrees, and 160 degrees. And when you recline past 160 degrees, you gain access to Omni Stretch. This is Omni's built-in spinal massage, which, when used with the footrest, helps decompress your spine. Combined with the zoned seat cushion, which optimizes pressure, plus the ability to adjust the neck rest, armrest, and seat height, the Omni improves posture and reduces back and neck strain, ensuring you can maintain the most comfortable seating posture whether working for long hours or relaxing, lending to Novo's tagline, "Move with comfort, stay supported." Novo has already raised over $10 million on Kickstarter, which is very impressive and shows it's not just a gimmick. So if you're curious about this chair, make sure to check out the official store link down in the description. Their up to 32% off deal is still live until January 16th GMT, so don't miss out. Now these next two tips are two of my favorite ones, but the first of the two is kind of a blend of a cleaning tip, and that is to stack dirty, unappealing, kind of nauseating tasks together and do them before you have a shower. Organizing the bathroom, cleaning the toilet, changing your bin bags, sorting the litter tray. None of these jobs are particularly pleasant, and they're not the kind of thing that you want to be doing in your Sunday best because they just leave you feeling a bit unclean and fusty. Of course, the problem with this is that the less appealing a job is, the less likely you're going to rush to do it. So as a workaround for this, I've found that gathering up all of these disgusting honking tasks all together in one and doing them first thing in the morning and then having a shower myself, afterwards my house feels renewed, I feel refreshed, and the trauma of perhaps getting a little bit of bin juice on me is just washed away. It's a distant memory. Altogether, this makes what is usually a quease-inducing selection of jobs into just a much more palatable and rewarding experience. Although bin juice still just gives me the bulk. My next favorite tip is all about using dead time as reset time. If you're anything like me, there'll be pockets of time in pretty much every day where you're really not doing anything. This could be when you're waiting for the oven to heat up, for the kettle to boil, or during an ad break if you're cheap like me and have the lowest tier of Netflix. Instead of just, sitting around scrolling Instagram, I'll do a very quick tidy of whatever's in arm's reach. This could be clearing the counter, washing a few dishes, just in general, putting things back where they actually belong. There's no pressure to do the entire room, just a few spots in the area that you are. By the time the oven's heated up, the kettle's boiled, or the ads are over, I've improved my home even just a little bit. I actually use this tip quite a lot when I'm working. I find when I'm doing a very long video or writing a script, I sometimes just feel my concentration slipping and just need like 5 minutes to step away for a bit of a refresh. Rather than turning on the TV or again scrolling on my phone, I've found that doing something simple, mundane and physical, like tidying the room, putting a few things away, just resetting my space, it's mundane enough where I feel like my brain's had a rest, but it's physical enough where I feel like I've actually achieved something, and then I can go back to my desk feeling quite positive about continuing what I was doing. Once again, it's a small step, but I always feel better after doing it, and my house certainly looks better after doing that. By the time you've done this a few times through the day with these dead spots of time, you'll start to notice a difference in your house, and then over the coming days and weeks, you'll notice a big difference as that effect kind of starts to compound and just cause more organization. I have seen people say that you can boost this even further by getting your family, your partner, whoever you live with involved, and also doing it with their dead time during the day. But I just live by myself with my 2 cats, and they're shy at cleaning dishes, so I can't use that. One method I came across which I really like is the ABC method, and the ABC in this method stands for always be carrying. The aim of this method is when you're moving from one area to another area and you have anything in your vicinity that needs to go into the second area, you pick it up and you take it with you and you put it back in its original place. You're basically meant to be public transport for objects with this method. This requires no extra effort on your part because you're already going to this new area and just taking something with you that also belongs in that area. And it's very helpful in slowing down, sometimes even stopping the disorganization from accumulating. For me, this can be something simple like taking a face cloth from the bathroom that I've used and putting it in the washing basket, or if I'm going out in my car or going for a walk, taking the recycling that I need to out to the outside big recycling bins. Or coming back to the example of working at my desk, I might have just been like eating toast while doing a bit of work and charging my phone. When I'm done with that and taking a little break, I can put the cable for charging my phone back in the little cable basket that I have for my most used cables, and then take the plate back through to the kitchen. This, like a lot of the other tips that I've shared, is a very small one, but it just makes such a difference in the bigger picture because disorganization doesn't just happen all at once. I think we all know that disorganization creeps in one small, lazy decision at a time. You leave one thing out and then another thing out and then another thing out before everything just feels very overwhelming and disorganized, and you just forget how it got to that level. It's a bit like that phrase, if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. And in this case, they is the mess. One disorganized decision quickly turns into 10, and the best counter to that is just make one organized decision at a time. So as someone who is very naturally not organized, I know how overwhelming it can be, and I hope that at least one of the tips that I've shared today will be somewhat helpful to anyone else who struggles with a similar affliction. If you have any home organization tips that you found particularly helpful, especially if you struggle with being organized, then please leave a comment so that you can help me and the rest of the people that are fighting for their life in this area. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate you taking a second to leave a like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.